Hey, all
Hey.
right. We've been
Oh,
in the
hey.
studio and we've been kind of talking and having a good time before y'all got the chance to join us here at Life After 40.
Life after 40.
And we're gonna come back after the introduction. And I hit this loop button. We're gonna see what it does today. Who knows? Hopefully we'll be back in 32 seconds or maybe 64 seconds. So if you need to go use a bathroom or
Do it
pop some
now.
popcorn, you can't pop popcorn in 64 seconds. Put the kids down, tell them to shh, because we're about to have a show. All right, we'll see what's happening. We'll be right back. Rearing children,
Grandchildren.
generational changes in thought. We'll be right back. That went down like gangbusters. I thank all of the people who added that loop in case we needed extra time. We can do. We have all these really cool hand signals that we do off camera that y'all aren't aware of, like, and that's how I know she needs like 35 more seconds and stuff like that. So that's what we do. What's up? It's Life After 40. We
Life
are
after
here.
40. Hello.
Look,
Good evening.
there's a very good evening. I tried that one time. It worked very well for me.
Yeah.
Look, there's a new feature here, and I want you to take advantage of it. So you can edit your name. Oh, it's not here. They must have got rid of it. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up. I'm not a fan. Anyway, there was a new feature where you could add an actual title to your name,
Okay.
and I don't see it anymore. Maybe they got rid of it, and I'm really sad because it was really
Okay.
cool. But anyway, let's not talk about that. So we are here, Life After 40. And if you look at the topic, it says generational thinking on child rearing.
Mm.
And I mentioned this to my sister, and she goes, I don't really know what that is. I said, think about it. How your father raised us compared to how you raise your child now.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh,
Oh.
oh.
Is, is it drastically different?
Mm.
Maybe not if she had to think about it, if she didn't know what that meant.
I think when you
Or if
think
she
about
wasn't sure. I wouldn't say no.
she probably wasn't sure because we do a great show here,
Yeah.
and when you're not aware of what that is, you don't know which way that could go, and so we have a lot of which is it's pretty much going to go the way that you thought it's going to go. Let's just be honest. Generational thinking. My father, and it's kind of funny that it's ironic how God works.
Okay.
So yesterday, my dad, we were having a conversation for about an hour, and he tells me this story I've never heard before. And my dad grew up in a very sharecropper family in a very rural part of Texas, um, and he was born in the 40s. So they were going to drop my dad off because he was going to stay with his grandfather. Well, somehow the communication was lost, and they end up dropping my dad off where the cattle were, the cattle farm, which was away from where his grandfather was.
Okay.
And my dad was told to stay in his barn until his grandfather got there.
Okay.
Well, his grandfather didn't know that he was there.
Okay.
And so that was just the day that he chose not to come to the farm that day and check on cows. So my dad has to spend the night as a 12-year-old in probably 1950 something in the middle of rural Texas, in the middle of a barn for the night, 24 hours there before his grandfather realized that he was there in that barn. And my dad has told me a lot of stories about how he was raised, and I've heard a lot of stories about, whooping, which I'm sure we'll talk about whooping tonight. Um, and just whooping stories, and I'm just sitting here in just terror, just like, they did
Yeah.
what to you? Like, thank God you never did that to me, because
Yeah.
I would have left the house and took a dart bus to somewhere else. Like, it was
And
horrible, but
your ass would have been right back.
mm-hmm. Yeah, because I remember one time, and we'll say this, and then we'll jump to the topic. You get bold. I'm leaving.
Mm-hmm.
My dad said, "Okay, you can't take anything out of this house that's not yours." Well,
You were gonna be bucket.
Bucky, now he told me take everything off, including your drawers. That's when the thought process changed in my mind. I was like,
Mm.
"No, I'm good. I'm gonna stay
No, I'm good.
here.
I'm gonna stay. I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna stay
thug it
here.
out.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
gonna thug
thugging
it
out.
out.
Put my raccoon tail over there because
Mm-hmm.
I can afford it now." But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he made it really clear. At that point, like, there were lines drawn in the sand of who was the parent and who was not. And so this topic, generational thinking on child rearing, is really good. And I think you having children are
Do
going
it.
to bring, well, I hear them every now and then on the show. I love them so much. They, they bring me such joy when we talk off camera and I call you later on and they're there. So, but me being single with no children, um, I have an opinion which
Yeah.
it has no basis in any type of merit that I've done, other than I ain't got kids and I watch a bunch of people without kids. But I think this will be a really interesting topic as we begin to tackle this.
Well,
Uh,
well, I have kids, but I'm new in the game, so
what's new? How do you be still new? Like,
well, I
it
mean, because my kids are young, so I haven't hit the teenage years. So who's to see if how I'm doing it slightly altered is gonna work out or not? Who knows?
uh,
I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you, from a single man who's dated a lot of women with children, from what you're laying down as a foundation, when they become teenagers, you're gonna have a very good life. It's
We'll
it's it's gonna be
we'll
nice.
see. I'm modeling it off of people that I too have seen do it and have older teenagery, young 20-some-year-old that I like
Hmm.
who the young people have become, and I like the relationship that I see that they have with their parents. So I'm like, and that fits my personality of parenting too. Because so we'll see. I know you mentioned your dad getting the beatings or is it a beating or whooping? Because something along. How many of those did you get growing up?
So in my mind, okay, so there's two interpretations. Let's be honest.
Okay. Okay.
So if you ask me,
Mm-hmm.
I got whooped every day between fifth and sixth grade before I got to junior high. Like, every day I got home, I got whoopings. If
And
you
I
ask my,
guarantee Mr. L would say something totally different.
oh, I'm gonna tell you why. Because my dad never whooped us.
Oh, it was Mama.
It was mom. Because my mom was a teacher,
Oh
and
yes, yes.
she grew up. So she grew up if she started teaching in a time that paddling kids in school was
Oh, that
natural.
was okay. Hey, so if she paddling other kids, she damn sure getting you.
Look, my grandma had a paddle named Cougar.
Okay.
Because their mascot was Cougar, and if
Okay.
and that paddle would come home in the summertime. Okay, and my mom was a teacher, and she had a paddle.
Okay.
Okay, I remember for Christmas, my grandma bought my mama a paddle that said it was called the Texas Tailblazer.
Okay.
It was one of them. It was one of those you just happen to go to like Bucky's or something and see like, oh, it's a cute little Texas. Man, she wore my ass out with that. Woo! Look,
What was it? Just you? Did your sister get it too?
look. So there was one story where my sister. I'm gonna tell you how loyal I am, and this is how ride or die I am for my sister. I don't remember what my sister did to get this whooping, but it was just one that I just could not deal with anymore. I remember running in there telling my mama, "Stop whooping my sister." My mama turned, looked at me, she said, "Do you want some of this?" I said,
No.
"No." I ran out like Red's daddy. I went to my room, put my head over the
No.
Sis, Sissy just took it for the rest of
She
that one.
took
She
A.
to this day, she's like, I appreciate you trying. She goes, there was nothing you could do. She said,
There
but
was
you
nothing
tried.
you could do. There
She
was
you
nothing you
tried.
could
Ooh,
listen. I,
ooh.
I didn't get many whoopings. I don't like being hit. So I don't know if I got more than one whooping from one person. Because once I figured out you whoop me, I'm like, okay, no, that shit not gonna work. So what I need to do to make sure,
What I got to do to avoid this, boss? Because I
yeah,
don't want this to
listen,
ever
because
happen
this
again.
is not what's happening. So
This is
now, in the same kind of story, one time my mom was giving my brother the business, and I was like, oh, how do I save him? How do I save him?
yeah,
Take me instead.
yeah. I sacrifice me. It's too bad. Give
And
me
I did
some.
the same thing. I said, Mama, I said, Mama, I think that's enough. He get it. And the same thing, she looked at me and, what? You want to be next? No.
No,
No. All
it's
right. Well,
it.
yes. Hey, I tried.
I tried. I gave it my best shot. Down. We both can't die tonight.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody had to tell the story. Here I am.
I'm alive. You are too, but I didn't know you was gonna make it that night. It was real.
So now, okay, I remember when they first had, like you said, the number for us to call.
All those mistakes that we made. Talking about, I'm a call. They gonna come get me. Let's
And
hear how your story turned out.
I told my mama, I was same thing like you. I said, Mama, I don't want to be here. I'm leaving. Same thing. She told me, okay, well, no, she was a little nicer now that I think about it, because she wasn't gonna let me walk out there and budget. So
Yeah.
she said, okay, but she did say, I'll help you pack.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting her to be, no, no, not my baby, stay. Then I told her, I threatened, I said, I'm gonna call that new number. And she picked up the phone and dialed
Black mamas call 911 for you. Like
it. They call your bluff. Be sure, because when they come get your ass,
you gone.
you gone. That's
You
it.
gone.
That's
You're not
it.
gonna get to stay in my house. You're not gonna have these Nintendo games.
No.
You're gonna be sharing a bed with somebody. They're gonna pee in the bed. You're gonna have
Yeah.
your own drawers. You're gonna have to share drawers. Man, look, they made me so scared to call CPS. Look, I could have been a coke mule in that house, nigga. I was never calling CPS in that motherfucker. Like, the secret was safe in that
The
address.
secret service. But now we've entered, and I know you've heard of gentle parenting. Have
Mhm.
you heard of that term?
I've heard of it. I mean,
Okay.
I don't understand it. I
I know.
mean,
Well, listening when we talk, you can't do them. Listen. Okay, I talked to my aunt and uncle
yeah,
about this topic, and of course how they were raised. Now they define that raising, of course. So their children, I don't even know what are their parents' generation like. Yeah, Dad, what is his generation? Because
like
my grandma was born in 40.
nah, my dad was born in 40 something.
So I
So
don't know
my
what that
dad's like
generation.
he's like 75, so he's a baby boomer. They,
Okay, he's still a boomer.
yeah,
See, okay, I don't know, because my grandmother is 82.
yeah. So she would be whatever was before the boomers.
Right. So
Yeah,
whatever they were, how they
generation -2 or some shit.
however they did, I say my aunt and uncle say who they're boomers.
Hmm.
They say that was a lot of trauma induced discipline.
I can see that there was. It was a lot of beating, a lot of beating. Like you either do what I say or you just
Uh,
get your ass beat.
right. And so right. And my aunt always says that their thing was to be seen and not heard.
Yeah.
Right. So you could be in a room and don't be in grown folks' business. You know,
You did you ever
nobody.
hear that growing up? I heard that all the time.
I
Why you in grown folk business?
I think I heard it, but like I said, I would be. I don't really remember. Cause see, one thing I can say is I think as how I remember as kids, like my parents used to have we used to have get-togethers all the time, and the parents would be down like in one part of the house. The
Mm-hmm.
kids, we didn't want to be by our parents. Like
Nah.
we wanted them to not just to leave us alone, let us play, let us eat, jump, all that. Well,
Yeah.
these kids, they always in your face. You
Yeah.
know,
They want to be around you.
they want to be around, which I mean, I guess that is what it is. But I am attempting, I won't call it total gentle parenting because I'm not necessarily interested in them being my friend, but it's gentle-ish, I guess. I just I'm into where I don't believe, one thing is I think that growing up, the because I said so. Now going into parenting, when I before I had kids, I was like, this is how I'm gonna be. It's gonna be because I said so. I don't want to hear no, I don't want to hear no lip. This is what it's gonna be. Talking mad shit.
Mm-hmm.
But
See, I don't have kids, and I know better than that shit. I didn't like that when I was growing up. Like, this is how it is. It's like, yeah, but that don't make no sense. Like, I don't understand
well,
why.
well, what I've learned, or what my kids have helped me to learn, is that they are little autonomous people that I'm trying to grow into mature, emotionally, spiritually, well rounded, mature people. So
Oh,
that I do hit them with a because I said so, because I think it's balance. And it's some things where if I'm telling you, hey, move, that can save your life. So sometimes, but it's them also, it's learning, it's learning each other. So when I hit them with the I said so, it's because sometimes I don't have time to explain. If I'm trying to save your life from a car, move when the hell I say move.
yeah.
But then there's other times where again they don't, although they are independent people, they don't know everything. So a lot of times, because I know we used to hear anything, anytime you said why or question anything, that was disrespectful,
Oh, yeah, 100%.
right? But if you don't know, you have to ask why. You
Yeah.
have to ask questions. So my thing is always with them is about, hey, watch your tone. Tone, tone, tone. That's my thing with everybody. How you talk to me, watch your tone. But
Mm.
so they can, I mean, look, if we can question God, surely they can question me, right?
Yeah.
So, well, why do you say so then? And I have noticed that most of the time, if I am if I can explain to them something, they're less likely to repeat that habit because then
Yeah.
at least they can reason in their mind as to why I said no. Other than that, is they're not, no, okay, but they're still gonna ask why to themselves, and then they're left to by themselves try to figure it out. Well, sometimes it's like no, and then why? Because if you do that, that can cause this, and this, which would result in this. Then a lot of times they'll be like, oh, okay, we move on.
No problem.
So so it, it's gentleish. Um it has required a lot of maturity and evolved thinking on my part to parent, impatience to parent this way, I think. Because the instinct, because when you tired, you don't want to be, for me, when I'm
Mm-hmm.
tired, I don't necessarily want
Mm-mm.
to have to talk all the time and explain everything. Like you said, you want to just give the orders and get it done. But so then it requires me to take a breath because
You
we'll
know,
see. It may not still work. Who knows?
as someone without children, I feel like that would be just so easy, you
To
know,
what?
to do that. But also, I don't have children, so I don't understand the other intricate
Well,
pieces of getting kids in and out of cars with groceries and trying to get dinner and all those other responsibilities. To me, it's just like, no, look, little Jimmy, let's talk about it. So you're upset and you're sad now. But in all honesty, I know like my mom would be like, okay, so you're sad. Well, you can be sad in the car. We got baseball practice. Let's go. You
well,
know,
and
like
sometimes it's like that. Sometimes, it depends on the circumstance. And I'm not gonna say that it's not necessarily hard, but you got to remember that. way of discipline is generationally brought down, right? The
Mm-hmm.
idea of even spanking our or beating our kids comes from what? We learned that from
From
slavery.
slavery. Beat
Right.
you. Look, if you beat
So
the slave, they're gonna do what you tell them to do.
so it's a fear-based way of discipline, which I feel that discipline shouldn't necessarily be out of fear. It should be out of respect. And again, even when it comes to children, there's an earning of sorts of respect. And just because you have this title, and yeah, I teach my kids, we teach our kids to respect adults,
Mm-hmm.
but that's kind of a catch 22 too, because I also teach my kids to respect themselves, and all adults don't deserve respect.
And that's the truth behind versus what how we were taught. It's like, well, that's an adult. You listen to them. Okay, well, this motherfucker been to jail like 22 times. I'm supposed to listen to crackhead ass uncle.
And not even just crackhead. He may not even be a crackhead. He's just a dumbass. So
Yeah.
no, that I mean, and it's like and it's the idea that yes, you need to respect another human on a human level, but the idea of just blanketly telling my kids that every adult is good, every adult is of authority, every adult is of respect, I think does our children a disservice.
Well, that's why you have problems in the church, and you have all these crimes that happen against children because, oh, well, he's the pastor, he's this person, and you have to treat this person with respect, and you don't teach your children that they are humans, and like you said, like they're little autonomous people.
Mm-hmm.
And I always try to tell people like a child spends their first year to 2 years doing this
Just observing and listening. Just that's
and
it. Soaking
watching
it in.
everything
Every
that you
move.
do, everything that you do. So then this little kid starts doing things that mimic you, and you're just like, it's like, well, what else did you do? All you've seen for the last 2 years was this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Everything, how you handle everything. And it's important when you start trying to discipline your child to realize, and I told a lady like this straight up. I said, I hear the way that you talk to me and you talk about how you handle situations and how you talk to people. And then I hear the problems that you say your children have in school with authority and stuff like that. I said, it all stems from how you talk to people. It's
Mm-hmm.
you. I said,
Mm-hmm.
you are the reason your children have problems.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out. I'm out.
Well, I'll tell you, like you said, I can't remember exactly, but the first time my son showed me,
Mm-hmm.
it really, the point you just made really snapped, and I was like, oh shit, I couldn't just, people like, I don't know where he get that from. He get that shit from you, like,
It's you,
but
nigga. It's you.
yeah. So that happened to, like you said, how he responded to something, and it really made me. I was like, oh, that's me.
Dog, look. I have never been around your children enough to be like, they like the color blue, and it's I've been around them, and then I've seen y'all's interaction through Instagram and stuff like that, like that we've had. Dog, that's you. Like he is you 100. The way he talks to you, the way he even answers, his logic in thinking about stuff. Like at that age, I'm like, that's you. Like I'm laughing because like it's like watching my best friend in boy form.
Boy,
And it's like, you got to deal with yourself. That's how we, and it's funny because you as an evolved person versus you, how I grew up with you, and versus me too, totally different.
mm-hmm.
Not in a bad way, like you were bad in high school, but you were a great person in high school, and you're a great person now.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that you handle situations, like you said, the way that you respond to things
Mm-hmm.
are very similar to how he does it.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't realize that when they're rearing children, like you said,
Mm-hmm.
like they want to be forceful. And once again, here you go, me and the legend, as my homeboy calls him, the legend, Larry, talking about stuff. He was talking about a girl that was walking out the hospital, cussing out her kids
Mm-hmm.
and telling them they were doing stuff wrong. He goes, she's seen that somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how she feels is the best way to handle stuff. And the worst part is when these kids get put with a situation like that, they're going to start to yell and cuss people out in their life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a difference that people don't realize, that
Mm-hmm.
the way that you teach and train and rear your kids is how they handle relationships and
Mm-hmm.
things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing when you really look at the deep
Yeah. And
rooted
because I look
path.
a lot of times when, include myself, the things that our kids do that get on our nerves
Hmm.
the most is usually a direct reflection of who we are.
And like I said, I don't have kids, but my sister tells me so much. She goes, "You don't know about your dad when he was your age because you were too young to remember him
Mm-hmm.
at that point." She goes,
Mm-hmm.
"You're just like your father, 100%." She goes, "That's why y'all have so many issues. He sees what you're doing and knows the path, and he's trying to stop you, and you're being just like him,
Mm.
and he can't, stop you by force." And
Mm-hmm.
he's kind of learned that, through after 40 plus years, that you can't force, like you said, an autonomous human to do things the way that
Anything.
you do. You
Yeah.
just have to guide and help.
And that's what yeah, I look at, like you said, it's like, I don't know, it's like bowling or something. Like parenting is like bowling with the bumpers. Like we're the bumpers. They're the
Mhm.
ball. They're headed toward the pins regardless. We can only, like you said, we can only guide, and you can only do so much because they're their own people. They
Yeah.
just are. And so, like you said, what we can, and this kind of goes back to everything, only the best we can do, and this is for any relationship, but we're talking about parenting, in
Mhm.
my opinion, is to truly work on yourself. Because if you work on yourself, like you said, what they will observe will be the best of you. So then you can give them that best. But like you said, my kids, my kids say this curse words. It's the curse words I use. I can't be mad when they pull one out and say it. Now, they don't curse at me because I don't curse at them. But
Mhm.
I mean, you know me.
Yeah.
So they'll hit me with, like, my daughter says, she'll say, "Oh, damn it." Now,
But
it's
that's
not,
you.
she don't say it all the time, but she says it. And when she says it, I can't get mad.
Yep.
What I'm getting mad? Because to me, again, a curse word is just word. It's just a
Hmm.
word, right? And she
Hmm.
picks up on all the other thousands of words that I say. So of course she gonna pick that one up.
Yeah.
She uses it correctly, and like you, her tone be good, and it's not at
Yeah.
me. So I don't even address it, because I feel if
Hmm.
I address it, then I'm giving that word more power,
Exactly.
and then she's gonna truly, truly say it. But
Hmm.
every now and then when she's, oh, damn it, like she'll drop something and say it, I'm like, that's all damn it situation right there. Like,
Hmm. I'd have said all damn it
I'd have
too.
said it too. Yeah,
You say you've seen
yeah,
me say all damn it.
that's it.
And I think that's a difference in the generational thinking, because our parents, dog, you better not cuss.
Dog, you can't even
You,
say but, like
but
butt. You
yeah,
can't say
don't call
nothing.
nobody a liar. Don't,
Oh, that's
oh,
no,
you
that's all. Oh,
you're
oh.
not telling the truth. Dog,
Not
you get
because you
so
lying. That's
because you
why.
lie. You get so many Ike Turner looks like niggas say, dog, what'd you say? I said shoot. I said shoot.
Shoot, yeah,
Shoot.
okay. That's too
Yeah.
close.
It's too
It's too
close.
close.
Don't say shoot no more.
Yeah,
You say shoot one more time, I'm gonna shoot this paddle, and you gonna have the Texas tail blazing
yeah,
on you,
on your ass,
on
right?
your ass. It's okay. You shoot. Say
No,
shoot again.
so is well, the same, my uncle. So I asked them if they feel, because if they feel that this more gentle way
Hmm.
is quote unquote better. Now they both were absolutely like yes, and I said, I guess it's yet to necessarily be seen, but I will say I do feel, and you could tell me a little bit of this, what we're calling gentle parenting is something that our more Caucasian brothers and sisters have always been able to do, because they've always they seem to have had a more And that may not be a race thing. That may be an economical thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That they have always had the luxury of being gentle. Because again, a lot of the things I feel that the trauma and the discipline, like you said, okay, that day your dad had to stay in that barn. Okay, not that long ago, removed from him,
Mm-hmm.
that would have been a life or death situation. You stay your ass in this barn so nobody sees you. Because
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? And where today my kids wouldn't have stayed in that barn. Oh, she did not. Damn it.
Oh, damn it. I guess I gotta walk up
I
the
gotta
road and
walk
go
up
find.
there myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where it's like on the one hand, I understand that my grandmother, for instance, I'm assuming, didn't have the resources, the tools, the luxury to gentle parent. She
Mm-hmm.
didn't, I mean, it wasn't done to her. How would she necessarily know? So it's
Exactly.
becoming more gentle as we go, but there's still, like you say, a balance. Now, I've never, and of course they're little, so I really wouldn't have, but to beat my kids, and I don't even really spank them. I do like to, I do like a lion growl, and
Yeah.
get them back in here. Yeah,
Yeah. So get over here.
but for the most part, at least right now, my babies are my babies, so they not too bad. The biggest thing with them is trying to get them to, like you said, even with the boomers were raised, for instance, they weren't allowed to express really any of the emotion. Nobody gave a damn about their emotions,
Yeah. Who
right?
cares?
We ain't got time for
We
emotion.
got time for sad. Well, we got cotton to pick
Yeah,
because
let's
we
go.
broke.
We broke. Yeah, let's get in here. So, my kids, just today, my daughter, she was crying. "Oh, I'm just mad. I don't want to talk to anybody." I said, okay, you don't want to talk? That's fine. I said, but we don't want to necessarily hear all that hollering and screaming. So you take your time, get it out, and when you're ready to talk, you come back into the fold.
Mm-hmm.
So she took a little moment out, as she does, and then when she was ready, she came back. I'm better now, mommy. I just was so frustrated. But I think as growing up as an adult, that's gonna serve her well, because adults that are not allowed to express their emotions, they end up suppressing those emotions. They end up, you know, and so they're gonna come out one way or another.
Oh yeah.
They either gonna come out in a healthy way, or they're gonna come out as that still suppressed 3, 4, 5, whatever trauma-year old, 7-year old, and it's not
Mm-hmm.
a good look on a grown ass person. So,
Not at all. From
so yeah,
from the single dating apps, not at all.
yeah. So, but that the Bible also says, as the generations or as it goes, they weaker and wiser. So, you know,
I mean, we according to our parents, we are weaker, but
yeah,
we are wiser.
yeah.
And,
And one thing I can say, you know, that boomer generation, they tough as nails. They, they
they
don't
look, don't nothing,
don't
don't nothing phase him.
don't none phase them, dog. Don't none
Look, you ain't
phase
got
them.
no
But
money. The problem why you ain't got no money because you ain't saving no money. All you got to do is eat water in your water cereal, and you'll be rich. That's the problem. Y'all won't eat French fries. Y'all want
yeah,
to have
y'all, we wasteful. Y'all put real milk in your cereal,
yeah.
like
Why you need cereal? You just get up and breathe for breakfast. That's what we used to do. Like, damn.
But so yeah, so I don't know, because like I said, with my son more, and like I said, this could be a societal thing, but trying to balance him with, like, that, because they not used to getting yelled at.
Mm-hmm.
They not used to getting, hey, that kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
he said, he goes to basketball practice, and he said he don't like basketball because the coach, when he not in a position, the coach will just grab his neck. And when he said, I don't like when he grabbed my neck like that because it kind of hurt. Where the boomer wouldn't have said that.
Nah, boo.
He'd have let him choke him out.
Get your ass down. I told you to get in the center. Like, I had to smack the shit out. I told you to shoot the ball.
Yeah,
Like,
you're up there just shoot. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Where this generation, they'll say, sir, you grabbing my neck too hard. I don't like it, and then, so sometimes it's a disconnect because that older generation, you can't say nothing back to them. It's all disrespectful.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Look, you don't like what? You don't want the peanut butter sandwich? Don't be talking back. Like the ultimate
I'm just telling
phrase.
you I'm allergic to
Yeah.
peanut butter. That's all I'm trying to tell you.
No, you talking back. Eat the sandwich. Oh, okay.
Okay, when my
Yeah,
throat closed,
I'm a close. Do you have an EpiPen? You still talking back? Eat the sandwich.
eat the damn sandwich.
Why you didn't tell nobody you was allergic to peanut butter?
I tried to, but you said I was being disrespectful.
Talking back. I'm talking back. I can't talk
No,
back. I can't.
oh
I can't
no.
say nothing.
Listen, listen. So, like I said, I think sometimes I give my kids, I may give them more opportunities to make decisions than they need to. But here's my other thing too. My dad died when I was young, and I
Mm-hmm.
always thought, and I told you what my fear was. So my thing is, I'm trying to prepare them to make decisions now, especially when the decisions aren't life threatening. I
Mm-hmm.
want them to get the experience of making decisions, sticking to that decision. Because in their world, any decision they make is a big decision,
Oh
right?
yeah, 100%.
So if they can get that confidence and the self esteem of making these little decisions, my hope is that they'll be able to make bigger decisions. Because I've seen, let me know how do I put this because I don't want to call no names and make it sick. I just have seen, I have seen where when not given the opportunity to make decisions, and then you get to that age, that 18, that 21, where people just automatically become grown.
Yep.
Now they're expected to make these life changing decisions, but they've never practiced it.
You never had a chance to make decisions, mess up, and get guided to the thing. And I
Right.
say that all the time. Like the difference between an executive, C level, successful person is the realization of I made a decision, that decision didn't work. I'm making another decision. And that's what we're doing. And all those decisions have to be based on intelligence and stuff that you make. But if you're never allowed, like you said, especially in our community,
Yeah.
you're never allowed as a black man. Well, I'm not gonna say in certain families. My father made you make decisions, and if you messed up, he was gonna let you know you messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Why'd you? His famous words: "God gave you a brain. Why are
Why
you not
do you
using
use
it?
it?
Why are you
Yeah.
not using it?
Yeah.
He let you take your free choice, and here you go making this decision." But
Yep.
if you're never taught how to do that, and a lot of people assume this, and it's sad that I deal with this. Oh, here it is. Boop. With people with kids, there it is. So now you can have you a title that says the King
Okay.
of Texas. Anyway, I just found it. So when you don't give children that opportunity to make decisions, it does affect them later on in life because in a relationship, you need to make a decision if this person is good or bad for you. And
Mm-hmm.
you've never been allowed to make decisions. So what do? You rely upon this other person who's already bad for you to
To
make this
tell you,
decision
for you.
for
Mm-hmm.
you.
Mm-hmm.
And so the people who I've seen who've grown up in cultures and environments where the parents challenge them to make their decisions in life and go forth with life, they seem to move further. They seem to be able to deal with accountability for their decisions. And that is the big thing is when you make a decision, you have to be accountable for that decision,
Right or wrong.
right or wrong, no matter what it is. Look, I'm not going to even go there. We'll talk about
No,
this
no, come
off
on, no,
camera.
go,
No,
go, go. You on the road, so go on down the street.
accountability is this huge thing.
Uh huh.
It's big. And I think in our society,
Mm-hmm.
all the way, even up into the upper echelon with politics, accountability is just, I fucked up and I should have done this better.
Mm-hmm.
Or I made this decision. That was my decision. Now I'm making this decision. And
Mm-hmm.
this is why I made this decision. We don't have that. And it's never really, once again, it's not taught to us
Mm-hmm.
growing up to
Mm-hmm.
be accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to tell you how I was accountable for my actions today.
Okay.
I could have made one of my typical assholish OMD posts on Facebook today as I was meditating upon accountability
Okay.
because one of my friends visited my home and I have two bathrooms. There's a guest bathroom and there's the one for the king. And I I use the guest bathroom when I'm in my office doing work. And I go in there and he was the last person to use it and the toilet seat's down. But there's no women in my house, and I kind of giggle because I'm like, he's trained very well to leave the toilet seat down. And
Okay.
I always think about the most prominent argument in the toilet seat down conversation is I'm going to fall in the toilet if you leave the toilet seat up.
Okay.
How the fuck is that my fault if you wake up and walk in the bathroom and don't see the toilet seat down? Because if I go to take a poop, even in the middle of the night, I've never fallen in the toilet in a male house where I leave the toilet up. I know I'm going to have to sit down. The first thing I do when I walk in is go bloop and drop the toilet seat down. My thing is that accountability when you don't want to accept the fact of the toilet seat has to be down because you don't want to fall in the toilet. Now, I will say this in my home,
Yeah.
the toilet seat on all of the toilets remains down all of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Period. The top is
Mm-hmm.
closed.
Yeah.
So ain't nobody gonna take anything without making an action happen in here.
Right.
So if
Uh-huh.
I'm arguing over toilet seats down, it's all the way down.
Okay.
Ain't nothing else. So
Okay.
everybody got to do something in here.
Okay. Well, that's an argument I don't think I've ever had.
You've never had that? Never? Dog, I've had the toilet seat up and down argument in multiple relationships.
I
I think
mean, I
it's a
guess because
control thing.
I grew up with a brother.
Uh-huh.
I had a I had a cousin in the house. I had a dad in the house. I lived with you. I mean, so and I guess I was like you. I mean, in most of the houses I lived in, it was like you said, it was all the way down. Everybody
Yeah,
just put it down, close it, because
yeah,
nobody wants to see this anyway.
yeah. Why you want to see what's in the toilet? Like,
Yeah,
you know.
but no, but accountability is huge, and like you said, and one of the things is, I don't think we don't have full. We don't, of course, we don't have full. No, we don't have control of anything really at all. But
True.
we don't have. You can only try to be the main influence in your child's life. That's it. That's all you can do is try your best to be the main influence in their life. They're
Mm-hmm.
gonna get outside influence from other things. Unless you keep them locked in a dungeon, there's no way around that. So your influence has to, what you say to them, how you act, all that has to align, because if it doesn't, they're gonna be able real quick to point you out as a fraud, and they're gonna go the other way
Yep.
because they're gonna be like, "What's she talking about? Is that bullshit? Because that ain't even what she doing anyway." So they're gonna go the other way, which again, so then, like you said, I don't. It's one of those things. I don't know. It's when, of course, when they're grown and out the house and their own real adults, will see if I still feel this way or not. But I think it's one of those things where, as parents like to take a lot of credit when their kids turn out successful and good,
Mm-hmm.
but no credit when they turn out to be hoodlums.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
they turn out to be not, and it's one of those things. It's like it's a false sense of, on one hand, it's a false sense of credit and accomplishment, and on the other hand, it's like that accountability. It's like, well, if you look over it, I mean, you can't see at all how this was an influence, or how So it's one, I don't know. We'll see. But I'm real big on accountability, and that's what, because my son will be like, no, it's because of you. I said, I let me think. Like, for instance, that you use the toilet. So and something
Mhm.
like that, it's because of you. I'd be like, I ain't use that bathroom. Again, if you walked in here,
Mhm.
do your eyes not work to
Yeah.
see that this happened, that this was like this? So okay, now I may say, oh yeah, I did leave it up or I did leave it closed, but if you are able, you can see, fix it accordingly to how you need it to work for you. But
Yeah.
my son, he'll try to blame that on me, and I'll be like, nah, bro, that's not how that's gonna work.
Nah.
No,
Nah, big homie.
no.
You you did, and that's valuable because when he becomes an adult, out in the real world,
Mm-hmm.
that's leadership qualities.
Mm-hmm.
Being accountable, because like I said in the previous moments of this podcast, like, real leaders know that they make a decision and it doesn't work, they make another decision. But the idea of having to make another decision was already thought about when they made that first decision. And so you don't even realize that you have to do that if at a young age you're never given the opportunity to make decisions and be guided to the right decision when
Mm-hmm.
you make the wrong decision. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we see that in testing and continuing education things. It's like, okay, you missed the question, but here's the right answer. you
Mm-hmm.
know why does missing the test question not count as much nowadays as it does back then? Because it doesn't matter that you were wrong. What matters is, do you understand
Why you
where
were
you were
wrong.
wrong and
Mm-hmm.
what
And
is the right answer and where to go from there?
and not only what is the right answer, how do you make the adjustment to get to the right answer?
Mm-hmm.
Because, like you said, because you know, just and I think that's the other thing too. That's a false sense of truly learning is that if you just give your kids all the answers and don't allow, like you said, them to reasonably think, resolve small shit.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't talking about life's work, just small shit. That's why a lot of times when my kids are, like I said, I'm big on tone, even kind of how they talk to each other. But I'll hear them arguing over anything because kids argue over everything,
Yeah.
and I I very rarely get in the middle of it or tell them to. I try not to tell them, hey, this. Because my thing is, if I have to come in and resolve this petty ass issue, I'ma just take it because I'm not doing this with y'all.
Yeah.
So y'all know, again, accountability. Y'all know who had it first, or whose turn it was, or whose net, or whatever. So I'm gonna give y'all. I said I'm gonna give y'all 30 seconds to talk it out, figure it out, and then y'all let me know in 30 seconds. If you don't have it, we're gonna just take it up and y'all can go do something else. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
this ain't gonna be done.
Yep.
So 9 times out of 10, they gonna resolve it because they want to continue doing what it is that they want to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So but and then other times they'll have decisions. And my daughter, she'll say, "Oh, it's just so many decisions, so many choices." And I said, "Well, that's life. Life is full of choices. Every
Yes.
day you make, every single second you making some choice. Some choices have bigger consequences, and some choices is just choices. Just take that and go." I said, "But whatever choice you make, you pick it and you go with it until, like you said, you see that that doesn't work, and then you regain your step, gain your composure, think about it, and reassess and figure it out which direction you need to go at that point."
Mm-hmm.
But which is, like I said, it's just totally different. So my uncle and aunt, they're the main ones because they see, they give me a lot of feedback and a lot of things that they say. I would have never, or my mom, your grandmother, or my mom would have never, or this just, and you know, but it's weird though because the boomers like to say they don't know gentle parenting until they become grandparents. Then that
Oh
should be
yeah.
gentle as
Oh
mud.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh baby, what's wrong? Look. So you cold. Look. Hold on. I'm, and this might be the end of this whole podcast here tonight.
Yeah.
My niece gets hot towels from the dryer when she gets out of the bathtub.
Uh-huh.
at my parents' house.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
mind you, my towels just sat on the towel rack, and I got in trouble for putting them back on the towel rack too hard.
Uh-huh.
They put her towels in the dryer
Uh-huh.
and bring her towels so
Uh-huh.
she can have a warm towel to
Oh
dry
yeah.
off with. Nigga,
Okay.
I don't get warm towels right now.
Listen.
I'm grown.
Listen. Let me tell you. I remember one time I brought a ball in the house. Bounced said ball. Should be bouncing no balls. Okay, we ain't bouncing balls in the house. Okay,
Yeah, done.
like that was the end. Like that was gonna bring the house down.
Yep.
I walked in the house one time. That same woman had all the rugs pushed in, so my niece could ride her bike through the house.
He's like,
I said, "Oh, that's what we doing now. We can ride bikes in the house."
he's like,
Well, it was cold outside. Oh, okay.
mm,
Okay.
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 Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
them grandkids get them.
Oh, they make them gentle, baby. They make them real gentile.
I don't think my niece has ever experienced a whooping from her grandparents. Now, my grandparents,
Your
oh,
grandpa.
you better go get that switch.
Oh, now I must say, I know my grandmothers didn't whip me either. So my grandparents what's past gentle.
Look, hold on. My grandma was in the country and there was plenty of peach trees to go get switches from.
Oh no.
And look, I remember being there was the switch of the day.
Oh,
Like so so whoever fucked up first ended up getting the switch that sat on the divan.
for
Don't know what
everybody.
yeah. So anybody else for the rest of the day you mess up, this is what gives you that work right here. And just like the comics say, don't come back with no little switch.
Yeah.
And don't
Okay.
go to any other look, don't make that mistake and go to the weeping willow. Think you're gonna get away with a weeping willow switch. Nah, they walking straight out to the peach tree and getting that good one. They're good.
Okay.
You know,
Listen. Let me just put this disclaimer. I must say I've never been spanked with a switch.
boy,
No,
look,
never, never.
look. Anytime people be like, "Ooh, I got a," my grandma picked up a switch. The song in my head is from the Indiana Jones movie. Bam, ba-da, bam, bam, ba-da. Like, boy, ain't nothing like one of them peach tree ass whoopings. And it was never an ass whooping. It was just your legs because it was summer. The
Yeah.
shorts were out and the peaches were fresh. And you had messed up because you was down in your grandma's house. She got that peach tree switch and that. Whew,
Look,
mm,
see, trauma. You look. You can't.
mm. I'm gonna put that on
You
my dating
reliving it right
profile.
now.
If you know about peach tree switches, we should date. Like,
No, no, y'all don't. You don't want to trauma heal with somebody. You don't want that trauma love.
Lord, peach tree switches. Ooh.
But so, look, I'm just hoping that this, like I said, I'm not trying to totally reinvent the wheel. Like I said, it's some things, but I am hoping that this way provides them less trauma,
Mm-hmm.
a little more self-esteem,
Mm-hmm.
self-induced self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. Hey, we'll see.
No, nobody.
Look, like my therapist said, it doesn't matter what we do. Somehow, some way, they're gonna still have their own fucked up mindset. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah,
You
it is
can't do
what
it.
it.
It's a human being.
It's a human
It's
being,
a
and
human being.
yeah.
You're
So,
doing the
like I
best
said,
you can to
that's
keep
it.
them. As my dad
That's
said,
it.
I just need to make sure that you're a viable member of society that doesn't fuck up a lot, which is
Yeah,
the truth. Like,
yeah.
you
Like you said, yeah, yeah. And I like you said, especially well, both of my kids really, but especially like you said, my son being a black. I pray that he makes it to become a black man. I want him to have those said true leadership skills inside, not just outside the house, inside the house, what that looks like, that accountability. And my daughter too. Like you said, I want her to be able to know her worth, know that both of them to know that they are important. I want them to be pleasing to themselves, not,
Mhm.
you know, not even really me, not even really pleasing me. But So we'll see. Look, it's
I will
one
say
one year
this:
at a time.
as a mother of a black young man, boy, going on to be a man, and as a black man, and I hear what you say. You pray that he makes it to be a man. Pray that he makes it to be an old man
Oh man, you're
and
right.
live a fulfilling life.
Amen.
Because even at this point, cops are still shooting 43-year-old black men
That's
for
very
no
true.
damn reason.
Amen to
So even as someone who felt that making it past 33, you know, and not having dealt with any of those situations was an accomplishment. And now at 43, I'm still like, dog, I hope I'm able to make it to 70, 80 without
yeah.
getting pulled over and something bad happens. So
Yeah.
um continue that prayer, and you're a good mother and good parenting. And from what I'm hearing from this conversation, you know good leadership skills. So and there's a village around those children.
Oh yeah.
And as much as this village can help, and me, we'll
Hmm.
make sure they get to where they're supposed to get, as long as we're here on this earth. And
Absolutely.
once we're gone, then it ain't our job no more. We
No.
just do whatever the hell is on the end of that. But that is it.
That
I
is it.
think that is the end of the show for
All
the
right,
first
Slinky
time.
Link.
Look, this is my favorite thing. If you don't own a Slinky, and a real one, not that BS plastic stuff, get you one of these joints. This is my favorite thing. But no, I really like this show. This was a really good show, and I think this show is probably very powerful for parenting. And I think it's going to be a show that's going to be enjoyed by all. And I think I'm going to take something away from this. And if I'm ever put in the position to be a parent, I'm going to probably rely on you for advice. So you better answer the phone.
Just tell them because I said so until in the morning.
Look, right now it's because I said so. I'll
That's
call you back
it.
tomorrow.
Let me think
Okay.
about it. Yeah, I'll get back to you tomorrow.
Back to you in the morning. Go sleep. We'll have donuts for breakfast.
Yep.
So
Yeah, and everything will be good.
everything will be good. God, sound like my father. So no, I've had a great time, and I appreciate all of you for tuning in.
All right.
And I just want to say I love everybody and thank you for
Mhm.
your support.
Leave any comments. Y'all leave some comments. Subscribe. We'll get the notifications, right? All that.
Yeah,
Is that right?
it bing, and then I
Bing.
have to go check it, in the middle of my normal job that pays me. But it's okay. We'll get it done. We appreciate y'all and we love y'all.
Thank you. See
Thank
y'all in a
you.
minute.
And we'll be back in a couple weeks. We love y'all. Bye.
Yep. Bye.